What's going on, everybody? Toby1 Shinobi here, and today I'm going to teach you how to eliminate combat anxiety, or at the very least, significantly reduce combat anxiety in Fortnite. So I often get this question, Toby, how do you stay so calm and relaxed in really intense fights? And my answer would be, I am not. I am not chill. I'm not calm. Not on the inside physiologically, right? My heart will run up to 150 beats per minute. You may have seen it live on stream. I will wear a heart rate monitor sometimes, and that thing gets up to 150 beats per minute, which is crazy. That's like sprinting or something, you know? So that means that my body is like physiologically changing. It's very, very stressed, but that can be a good thing, and I'll explain why later. But the way that I really keep myself so calm and focused is that I have a lot of tools in my tool bag for dealing with anxiety, as well as a lot of experience. And basically I can find a way to just allow the program to run. And we'll talk about that in a bit, and I will help you get there as well. So let's take a step back here and observe the issue. Now the issue is you're fighting someone and they begin to put pressure on you and you instantly become anxious and scared. You might tense up and become non-responsive or just go into full panic mode. This majorly throws off your game and you practically accept defeat before it even happens. Your negative thoughts start running through your head and those all become self-fulfilling prophecies. So the first question I have for you is, why are you so worried? It's just a game. Why are you treating it like your life depends on it? Why are you treating it like it's some huge event that everyone's watching and it's all so scary? The player who killed you doesn't even remember your name. All they know is that they're feeling great about themselves, right? They're not thinking about your failure and how embarrassing it is for you. Nobody's watching you. You have no crowd watching you, right? So what's the deal? Why are we so stressed out? So my first piece of advice is just to ease up, right? You're playing Fortnite because it's a video game and it's fun, or it should be fun, right? You should be playing to have fun. So let yourself have some fun. You don't have to take it so seriously. It's not the end of the world if you die, and it's totally okay to fail. Now, this is also life advice, but learning to be okay with failure is such a good thing for you, because now your losses are no longer losses. They're actually learning experiences, right? It's just water off a duck's back. It's like, oh yeah, I lost, but why did I lose here? So you take a second, you review the tape. What did I do wrong? What can I learn from this failure or this loss, right? And I talk about that a lot in my video of how to improve at any video game 3 times as fast, about reviewing the tape and looking at what you did wrong. You're basically reviewing the tape and you're playing it in slow motion and kind of figuring out what went wrong in the fight, and then taking notes and learning from those notes. And it's really important to write this stuff down. Now, my next piece of advice with combat anxiety is just about confidence. Confidence and anxiety are on separate sides of the spectrum. You cannot feel anxious if you are super confident, and you cannot feel confident if you're super anxious, right? Those are opposites. So how do we get more confidence? Well, confidence usually comes from experience and practice. So you need to practice a lot of combat. And the more realistic the combat is to the actual game of Fortnite, the better. So when I first started playing Fortnite, I was terrible and I was super anxious in fights. And that's because I wasn't confident in my combat skills. So I decided that that needed to change. So I grinded a mode called Coney Crossroads Deathmatch, which is basically an FFA deathmatch against other really good players. And I gotta tell you, I got smashed in there, absolutely destroyed. But I was learning a ton, right? I had an open mind. I went into it knowing I need to improve my combat and I am here to learn. I didn't let my ego get in the way of things and feel bad about myself for losing. I was learning from my losses, and that is really important. Now, the more realistic the creative game that you can play, the more realistic and closely related it is to actual gameplay of Fortnite Zero Build, the better, because this is really going to help you with that combat anxiety because it feels the same as the real game. Now, I would not promote this unless it was actually a very good map, but I have made a realistic Zero Build combat map that is an FFA, and it's called Shinobi Realistic FFA. The map code is in the comments down below. jump in it and have some fun. And I really do recommend this map because I made it with the purpose of simulating Fortnite combat, right? Actual Fortnite combat. I am a game designer by trade, or at least that's what I went to school for, and I also know quite a bit about Fortnite and kind of what are the most important things to learn, right? And keep things balanced. Whereas if you go into like Red vs. Blue Rumble or that kind of stuff, you're gonna have people shooting rocket launchers and hitting you with hammers and all kinds of crazy stuff going off. That is not in a real game. So I am trying to simulate a real game as much as possible. Now, if you don't want to play my map or there's nobody in it, then I highly recommend a creative mode called the Pit Zero Build. Map code also below. Now, these types of games are really going to sharpen your combat skills and help improve your confidence, because you're just going to take fight after fight after fight after fight after fight, right? You might lose a lot of fights, but eventually you're going to learn from your losses, you're going to improve, and that is going to improve your confidence in combat, and then you're going to become a very different player. If you take a few thousand fights in creative lobbies, I'm sure you're going to feel very different the next time you get sniped at in a battle royale game. You're not going to be so scared. You're not going to be like, oh, what if I die? You're just going, oh, cool. Let the program run. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. And once you've played a bunch of creative FFA deathmatch modes, I highly recommend taking it to the next level. And you can do that by playing zone war maps in Fortnite Creative. Now, this is probably the closest simulation to a real end game scenario in Fortnite Zero Build. There is only one winner and you only have one life. But the good news is after the round ends, it restarts again, right? You have 10 to 12 players maybe, and it's a small circle and you start it all over again. Limited equipment, tough scenarios, terrain, right? Bunkers. You're learning how to play endgame well, and the more and more you play this, the more and more you lose, the more you're going to learn to be calm and focused in these high pressure scenarios. I'll put a Zone Wars map that I highly recommend as well in the comments below. Great, now that you've played a bunch of FFA deathmatch and Zone War maps, right, and you put a lot of hours into it and you're feeling more comfortable with your combat, you need to start dropping hot in Fortnite. And I mean, don't drop on the outskirts of the map. Don't drop where there's only maybe one other team in your POI. Try to go to spots where there are 2, 3, 4 other teams in your location, or enemies if you're playing solos, and do your best to play it out. Survive, but also play aggressive, right? Don't get passive. Don't just hide in a corner and wait for someone to come. Go hunt players. Go seek them out. Get more and more comfortable in combat against real players in your lobbies. The more and more you do this, the more you are programming the combat machine that is yourself. That's right, you are a combat machine now. You've played so much creative, you've taken so many fights in Fortnite itself that you are now a combat machine. You have a very good program and you just have to let the program run. Now, whenever you get shot at in a real game Fortnite and you're feeling stressed or tense, take a deep breath and let the program run. You can use that phrase if you'd like, let the program run. And what I mean by this is get out of your own head. Stop throwing junk code into the command prompt of your programming. That is negative self-talk, doubt, that sort of thing. Just let the program run itself. It has been trained, it knows how to handle the situation, and now you just gotta let it run and do its thing. AKA, be confident that you can handle the situation. Now here's another huge trick for handling combat anxiety. Breathing. Simply take a very deep inhale and exhale before entering a fight. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And then continue to try to breathe throughout the fight. Deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. This will keep you calm and also allow oxygen to flow through your brain, which will help you make better decisions and be more effective in combat. Now, the next thing that I recommend is eliminating negative self-talk during gameplay. Your subconscious mind is extremely powerful, but it lacks a filter of what is true and what is not. Whatever is said is basically the truth for your subconscious mind. So if you say, hey, man, I suck, I can't hit a shot. Well, guess what? You suck and you're not going to hit any shots from now on, because that's what your subconscious mind has now taken as the truth, and now it will make sure that you perform accordingly to that belief. So the trick for this is turning that negative self-talk into positive affirmations. Now that might sound silly, a little hippie-like, but trust me, it works. So if you miss a super easy shot and you're kind of beating yourself up about it, turn that around and say, I'm gonna hit the next shot. If you lose a game and you're pretty bummed about it, you say, that's all right. I'm gonna win the next game, or I'm gonna have an awesome next game. Turn that frown upside down, baby. It's just a game, right? We're here to have fun and keep it positive. The more positive that your mind is thinking, the more doors you open, the more opportunities you open to allow yourself to make the next right play. And another similar tip is about changing your frame of mind when you're at bad odds. So in a bad situation, instead of thinking, oh, I'm screwed, it's a 3v1, I stand no chance, you need to instead accept the challenge and then begin to think, how cool would it be if I clutched this 3v1? The worst case scenario here is you lose, as kind of expected, and the best case scenario is that you believe you're capable of making it happen, and then you continue to take the appropriate actions to overcome the odds. You surprise yourself and maybe your friends because you kept the hope alive and you gave yourself the opportunity to clutch by accepting the challenge. So in hard situations, your answer should always be challenge accepted. So in general, a positive mindset will allow you to keep making good choices and keep fighting to keep the hope of winning alive. On the opposite side of things, a negative mindset slams the door on all opportunity because it's already accepted defeat. What's the point in even trying? Now, it's really not enough for you to be just listening to this video and be like, yeah, I get it. I totally agree. That's great. No, you have to actually put in the work and practice it yourself. So jump into creative modes and start training. You can even play this video in the background as a reminder to yourself. So some of our key learnings here is that 1, you should fight to get better. Learn from your failures. Don't be afraid to fail. You can do this. Take a deep breath before combat and many more during combat. Once you have enough combat experience, just let the program run. Quiet your mind, focus in, let the program run. When things aren't looking good and the odds are stacked against you, accept the challenge. If negative thoughts start chirping in the back of your head, replace those with positive thoughts or affirmations. Flip the script. Now, if you practice these fundamentals on a daily basis, I promise you that combat anxiety will significantly reduce. And if you feel stressed, just know that a medium amount of stress is actually a very good thing. If you aren't stressed, then you're not really trying and you're gonna underperform. If you're too stressed, you'll probably end up panicking. But if you have the right amount of stress, then you will fight better and overcome hard challenges. So if you start to feel that stress, take a deep breath, remind yourself that it's a good thing, and then let the program run. All right, guys, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video. It really helps. If you want to support me and my family, please use code TobyWanShinobi in your Fortnite item shop. It helps us out so much. If you want to improve your Zero Build gameplay, I highly recommend checking out my must-watch playlist on my YouTube channel. I promise it won't disappoint you. And if you want to take your gameplay even further, consider joining up as a Shinobi Clan member at either a lower level tier or as a master level member, where you get 2 to 3 days of hands-on training with myself and other master members, as well as access to the private Discord, which is full of great resources and incredible people. And if you really want to speed up the improvement process, consider booking a one-on-one training session with myself at TobyWanShinobi.com. All right, guys, I hope this video was really helpful. Have yourself a great day. Shinobi out.